everyone, and welcome to kind of sunny Houston. Tropical storm just passed us. Didn't really hit us all that hard. Got some pretty good rain. For the most part, slammed into Corpus Christi. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you guys about today. What I'm here to talk to you guys about is a lot of this really alarming news going on. In Austin, Texas, yesterday, a BLM protester, as they're calling him, who was armed with his rifle, was shot and killed when he rushed a car that was already being mobbed by an angry mob. I don't know how the man was displaying his weapon. I don't know if it could have been perceived as a threatening manner. But instead of doing what the typical armed protesters do, a la the Three Percenters, the Oath Keepers and whatnot, a lot of these different armed militia groups, where they do their best to try and control their own group. He was rushing over to where everyone was mobbing, and in that instant, he was identified with a weapon, rushing towards a vehicle that had a scared occupant in it, alongside an angry mob. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know the circumstances. I don't know how the man was carrying his weapon, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of investigation and eyewitness testimony to decide whether or not this man was operating in a threatening manner. But given the fact of how immature some of the left have been in the carrying of their firearms, i.e. The security guards in Chaz, which was the Capitol Hill occupied zone, autonomous zone, and how recklessly they were spraying rounds in Seattle. I saw the video today of the individual that was shot and killed in Austin, and I heard clearly 4 to 5 shots, and that was it. I think the driver or the occupant of the vehicle, I'm not sure if it was the driver or if it was the occupant of the vehicle, he fired as many rounds as was necessary to take whatever perceived threat out and make it no longer a threat. Seattle, a police officer has been seriously injured when an explosive device was thrown in the vicinity of his leg, and he was pretty seriously injured. What I'm having an issue with is the kind of protections that these fucking psychopaths are getting. What is the goddamn cities of Seattle and Portland, what are any of them doing? The mayors, the governors of Washington State, Oregon, of all these cities that are allowing these crimes to continue to happen, all the rioting, all the violence. What the hell are they thinking? They have just politicized legal violence. I know I'm not supposed to be speaking out a whole lot against political groups or elected officials and whatnot, but enough's a fucking enough. People no longer feel safe in the cities. They are burning their own fucking cities down. And these mayors, these city councilmen, all these other people, they're handcuffing their fucking police. They're dancing in the fucking ashes. Why? Because they want to fucking one-up the orange man? Oh, we're so progressive. What the fuck is wrong with you? It is your elected duty as a mayor, as a governor, as any elected official of these states, it is your sole job to take the consideration and the safety of your citizens, the people that live in Seattle, the residents of that city, of the entire state of fucking Washington, the entire state of Oregon, of the entire state of wherever. It is the responsibilities of those mayors, of those governors, to look out what's the best interest for their people in their cities. And they're not. In 2016, we saw an escalation of leftist violence. And the thing is that we just assumed at that point in time that they were well within their capability of killing. They were just too incompetent to do it. Sure, they hit people with bricks, and they hit people with bike locks, and they hit people with all kinds of stuff. But we were strong. And we took it as a bunch of kids throwing a fucking tantrum. Well, now these kids are 4 fucking years older, and they're still acting the same goddamn way. It's because nobody fucking punished them. Nobody told them that fucking action was wrong. And no. We've got politicians that are willing to stand up for their fucking actions and excuse them. We've got elected officials that are not doing what they're supposed to be fucking doing. You were elected to make sure that the people of your cities were going to be safe, that they were going to be secure, that they would be able to walk the streets at night without having to worry about getting shot or bricked or fucking blown up. You've single-handedly smashed up your fucking economies. You've allowed your buildings to be burned. You've allowed businesses to do business in your city, the part of your fucking stable economy. The whole reason you guys are in a fucking position of power is to take care of that stuff. You got the aspects. You have to grasp the aspects of your job. You have to keep your people safe. You have to make sure your economy is functioning, or you're not doing your job. And I'll tell you what, every person in fucking Seattle, every person in fucking Washington State, every person in Portland and in Oregon, you should be recalling your elected officials. You should be recalling the mayor of Portland. You should be recalling the governor of Oregon. You should be recalling the governor of Washington State and the mayor of Seattle. You should be calling those people in and asking them, what the fuck? What the hell is wrong with you? Our people, our children. Fuck, I didn't even want to get into what's been going on in some of the other cities. Because organized orders for police to stand down, not do their jobs. Or hell, the police standing down because the fucking cities won't even do a goddamn thing to protect them. A cop doing their job. I'm sorry that there are some bad cops out there. I am very fucking sorry. I've seen some pretty bad people in the military as well. But I cannot consider the military 100% bad because I found a few bad sailors, or a few bad soldiers, or a few bad Marines, or a few bad airmen. I cannot say that that the whole thing is bad. But everybody seems to think that when a cop does their job and they have to arrest somebody that might be of a different race, that is just fucking racism. If a cop pulled me over right now, I wouldn't assume it for anything other than maybe my fucking brake light's out. Maybe I'm speeding a little. I'm not going to assume it's because I got brown fucking skin. It's race baiters and racists. Oh my God, don't even get me fucking started. You people need to fucking stand up. The people of those cities. You need to stand up. Because I don't think anybody in those cities think this is acceptable. Because nobody seems to care that because the police are standing down, that a little boy was fucking gunned down in his goddamn bed. Because criminals think it's fucking all right, because there's no cops out. They aren't going to do stuff. They're going to take care of themselves. The only time they're going to respond is when there's officer down. I know those police officers have a hard fucking job. I can beg and plead. And please come back to your cities. Take them back. Take back the streets. And if your mayors won't do that, then that mayor needs to be arrested. That is willful negligence of their elected duties. They should be responsible for negligent homicides. They should be responsible for that stuff because they aren't doing whatever it takes to fucking protect their people. They're doing nothing. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sitting down here in Houston, and I'll tell you what. The police presence here, pretty strong. The mayor of Houston just increased the amount of the budget for law enforcement out here. We've got 3 law enforcement agencies that patrol the cities of Houston. The Sheriff's Department, the Office of the Constables, and HPD. So I don't think they're having any problem with law enforcement here in Houston, but every time I turn on any kind of news, I don't even watch fucking Fox News, CNN, any of that shit. I don't. Because I don't want my news source to be biased. I don't want it to be something that is just going to give me punditry. I want something legit. I want something neutral. That's why I watch stuff like Tim Pool. That's why I'll get information from sources that, you know, most people would look at it as like, oh, well, Joe Rogan's just a comedian. Well, Joe Rogan also makes a lot of fucking sense because why? He can look at both sides of the fucking book and see where the story is. He's not looking on just the left or the right. So I can't stand fucking mainstream news. I can't stand mainstream media. But every day I turn on that news, it fucking sickens me. New violence. Oh, this political group did this. This group did this. And don't get me started where Black Lives Matter is something where it's just Black Lives Matter. You have been corrupted. You have been corrupted by these fucking sick Marxists. Antifa was labeled a terrorist organization. Why? Because leftist terrorism is the new thing. They're trying to get into all aspects of intersectionality, LGBT movements, and everything else like that. And these sycophants, I'm steamed. Because when they saw that one avenue was closed up, okay, we can't call ourselves this. What do you know they're going to do? Oh, we're part of Black Lives Matter. The political organization. The fucking religion. They turned BLM into a goddamn religion. Instead of an organization of activists that are trying to actively improve the lives of African Americans in this country, they are not doing that. All they are wanting to do is scream the same goddamn shit that they were screaming in 2016, that we were screaming in 2017, and 2018, 2019, saying, Orange Man bad, USA bad, communism good, capitalism death. Congratulations, it's no longer about black fucking lives. It's all about fucking politics. Because if it was about black lives, you guys would be caring about these kids that are getting fucking gunned down. It would be all black lives. So I want to bring out a new hashtag. If you want to say Black Lives Matter, I want to say all Black Lives Matter. Because you can't just pick and choose which violence, which lives are important. Because if your life, if that life has to fill a narrative, then none of those fucking lives matter to you. It is a stepping stone. It's politics. And you're all part of that fucking zeitgeist. So I'm not fitting to listen to anybody that wants to just say Black Lives Matter. I want to hear all Black Lives Matter. George Floyd and legend. When I say legend, I'm talking about that little boy, the one that fucking Donald Trump named his operation after when he was bringing federal troops into the cities to try and defend federal buildings. Because of leftist violence, basically shoehorning the goddamn police, they weren't able to get dangerous weapons off the street. They weren't able to pose a threat to any criminal that was going to gun down a little boy after a fucking barbecue. Like I said, I don't want to hear another goddamn thing about BLM. ABLM. All Black Lives Matter. Because if you're not prepared to say that, then none of them matter to you. Back on the subject of Seattle, Portland, any of these other cities going on, having any of this bullshit going on, you guys should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Mayors, the governors, you should be fucking ashamed. Because the Chaz didn't have a fucking... The Chaz wasn't a problem to you, Mayor of Seattle, until they came to your fucking house. It was fine when they were going to other people's houses, when they were taking other people's neighborhoods, when 500 citizens of your goddamn city were being held hostage by an armed group of communist psychopaths. These people have drank the Kool-Aid. You better get your shit together real quick. You better get your shit together real quick, because there is a large, and I mean very large group, that love this country very much and are saddened and sickened watching people take it with such blatant disregard and willful destruction to it, to want to watch it burn. And those people ain't gonna fucking sit down. They are the fucking quiet generations. They were the ones that served this country. They are the ones that did their time. And they were the ones that wanted to live a peaceful life with their children, their grandchildren, and to watch them enjoy the same liberties and freedoms that everybody else that served got to again, with a new appreciation of what the cost of that is. Because eventually those people are going to stand up. They're going to say enough is enough. They're going to pull down those kids' pants, and they're going to spank the hell out of them. And I can only hope to God that it just is a stand up and make a move away before it turns into something really bad happening. Because we are on the cusp of a very real civil war.